Good morning, everyone. Uh, I will try in English language. Thank you. 1994 BA Thesis Proposition on the Japanese ODA subjected to Southeastern Asia. Subtitle Inquiry for the efficiency of the ODA, Official Development Assistance, and NGO, Non-Governmental Organization. Contents, preface, what means the development, 3. What means the aid, 4. ODA in Japan, 5. NGO activities in Japan, 6. Activities of ODA and NGO in Southeastern Asia, 7. Some opinions from peoples in Asian countries, 8. My suggestions for our ODA, 9. Conclusion. Next slide. Move on to next. As you know, our Japanese ODA is not always successful. And what is efficacy or efficiency in the international aid in Japan? Next, humanitarian aid by NGOs. I participated 南国長野 名古屋 NGO Center from 2002 to 03 or number 4 obstacle is Japanese bureaucracy system. I graduated the graduate school student, graduate school as like abstract. It's not always true that our ODA projects are successful and evaluated for recipients. The major factor lies in the relation between Japanese companies and their governmental staffs. Another fact is private lifestyle versus public amenity. Considering them, my thought is coherent to think globally, act locally. There is no question about what we must be interested in NGOs. Contradictory, ODA consists of taxes, individual savings, and cumulative pensions by us. There is no general concept to cover of our ODA program. So I try to be fair to judge the efficacy as much as possible. Finally, I try to analyze ODA on which standpoint is there in our communities. By the way, how our ODA based on self-reliant could affect ASEAN people. It's more important to listen their opinions directly. This issue will be focused on the efficiency versus overall expenditures of ODA. However, it's necessary to improve human relationships on NGOs. In conclusion, aid for development has always structural dilemma. Next slide. As such, as following. I think that the Japanese ODA has experimented it in Southeast Asia. We have been trial and error. Japan was a loser in World War II. We have also experienced on a recipient. Our thanks converted as our apologies. However, Southeast Asia, don't forget our intrusions stand still. And on the other hand, We were occupied by the United States in the end. We had received it and given it. I consider our ODA tried to catch up with the US international aid and how we had to act through ODA and NGO. In Southeast Asia, I understood that ODA had a structure consisting of six parts, so-called governments, companies, and civilians, both in Southeast Asia and in Japan. We understand others' feelings and characters when we communicate in usual human relationship. Nevertheless, either of our ODA, I could not seize the real figure of ODA. In other words, our ODA is our spiritual substitutions. Our spirits deliver as goods as and much money for waiting peoples. However, our ODA has not been arriving their souls because we peoples continue our lifestyles based on egoism and we have been inconsiderate for them. So I recognize again we were also responsible for our ODA. I imagine their pins and faces through my chapter 7. I have a different viewpoint for which bureaucrats have. These winners depend on the structures, but I am regrettable that I do not achieve how losers win. Next is 21st century at the time. It's high time for residents in the North to create embodied structures for which overcome the economic ones. We Japanese must the epics of symbiosis. We have an effort to search serendipity that is social structures step by step. Environment is spirit to human beings. Thank you for your watching. That's all.